When you're starting a home renovation, an important question to ask is, how long will it take? Whether you're doing a bathroom or a kitchen or you're undergoing an entire home renovation, these are legit questions to ask and important answers to know. In today's video, I will walk you through a sample renovation schedule that takes you from demo to new and improved space in just a few short weeks. And you'll be able to recreate something similar with your construction team. Hey, I'm Alice T. Chan, Interior Renovation and Design Specialist, known for completing home renovation projects in record time. And today I'm very excited to share with you the very strategy that I use to plan out every single one of my renovation projects so that they're completed quickly and efficiently. The last thing you want when planning your home renovation is to be wishy-washy about any part of the process. Wishy-washy gets you wishy-washy results, which nobody wants. You're going to be frustrated and you're going to lose the engagement from your construction team. In this video, I will share with you my top 2 tips for managing your home renovation schedule. Number 1, have a start and end date. People who say, oh, there's no rush, we can start anytime. That's just setting yourself up for failure because you're basically telling your trades, you have an open timeline. You don't care when it's going to be finished. It's like having an open relationship, having an open timeline. Now, are you really okay with your partner seeing other people, or are you just trying to show that you're non-committal? Well, non-commitment gets you in trouble. You can be flexible, but you need to be definitive. So you could be open to starting this month, but if we have to wait until next month, we're okay with that. But once we get started, once our project begins, we need to know when that end date's going to be. So whenever I have a client that tells me that they're not in a rush, there's no set time, I set a start date so that everyone knows what needs to be done and when and what to expect. We need to have set parameters because people work best with deadlines. Tip number 2 is create a construction calendar with your construction team. Now, I touched upon this a little bit in my home renovation planning video, and if you didn't watch that video, I will link it in the cards above. Make sure you go back and watch it because I shared some very important information. Creating a construction calendar will help everyone identify how long the project will take. You're not just picking a random date out of thin air. You're actually going to calendar everything so that you know exactly how long something will take and when things are going to actually happen. This does 2 things. It allows the contractors to schedule the correct trades to be on site on any particular day. Believe it or not, most of the people that's going to be working on your job don't work for the same company. They're subcontracted out. So this means you're actually working with multiple companies and they're juggling different projects all the time. And unless you're giving them advance notice and you're having them save the date for you, they're not going to show up when you need them to. And that's the biggest contributor to a construction calendar not being on schedule. And you'll know what to expect because then you'll know exactly which trades are supposed to be on site that day and you're not left wondering who's supposed to be here, why isn't anybody here? You'll know exactly what's on that schedule, what to expect, and you'll also know what needs to be on site on the days that certain trades are scheduled to be there. So let's just say we're doing roof plumbing and electrical, you'll need to have some of those materials on site so that when they're doing the work that they're supposed to be doing, they have the materials to refer to just in case they need it. Let's talk more in depth about a construction calendar by walking through a sample calendar. Let's go. So here's an example of a typical construction calendar. There's going to be many activities that you're going to want to add to your construction calendar. And this particular example, we're working with a simple bathroom renovation. You'll want to calendar everything from demo to completion and then all the activities in between. And just to give you an idea of what I'm referring to, we're actually allowing here 2 weeks before we actually demo to design the space and source and order materials. This is because you don't want to be trying to play catch up. You want to do some advanced work so that when construction starts, we're ready to rock and roll. And we want to start ordering the materials as early as possible so that it gives it enough time for us to receive the materials, again, so that there's no delays. And if there's any issues with any of the materials that we ordered, if there's damage, or if we find out that things are going to be back ordered, we're able to switch gears and order something else in place of what we originally decided on. Then we're going to do demo starting here on this particular day. So we're starting on Monday. I like to start on Mondays as much as possible just so we can have a fresh start and the project just continues on. So we're allowing 2 days for demo, as you can see here. And then we're going to do rough plumbing for 2 days. And then during that plumbing process, they can frame out the shampoo niche. And then from there, we'll do rough electrical. We're going to also allow 2 days for that. Now, I'm showing here that we're actually doing work on Saturday. Your crew may not work on Saturday, and of course, that just adjusts the calendar accordingly. But after this work is done, after rough plumbing and electrical, you'll need to schedule for a rough plumbing and electrical inspection. Now, because we're anticipating this work to be done on these days, we can actually schedule it a week in advance, because you're not going to be the only person that's going to be scheduling an inspection. So the likelihood of you calling a day ahead and scheduling an inspection and actually getting that appointment is going to be pretty slim. So you want to schedule it out as early as possible. So allowing yourself about a week cushion time makes it really nice. Not to say that you have to schedule it out for a week, but if you know that this work is going to be completed, then the next logical day is going to be that Monday, because you'd have to get the inspection and pass the inspection before you can move on with the next items on the list. So from there, let's just assume that we are passing. Then we know the next thing that's going to be on the calendar is the drywall installation and the waterproofing. So that does not take very long at all. You'll want to schedule those inspection dates right after you pass the inspection here. And then we're going to install the tub, if it's a tub shower configuration. And then we're going to install the hardy backer on the drywall. And if you are pouring a shower pan, you'll want to start that as well here. So those are those activities. This is day 2 if it takes more than 1 day. And then we're doing our drywall inspection and our waterproof inspection. A lot of times you could do these together. I'm saying here you can have the paint colors chosen. And then you're going to want to schedule for the glass company to come and give you an estimate, right? Because if you're doing a custom shower door, they're going to need to be on site to measure that. And again, a lot of times these companies are busy. They're not going to be able to get you in right away. So you'll want to schedule those as early as possible to avoid any delays. You're going to be taping the drywall here. You're going to do texture on the walls. And then you're going to paint. And then once you paint, you can have the tile. You want to make sure that your tile and your grout is on site, right? And then here, you're going to schedule a countertop measure, and you're going to start tiling here. Again, giving yourself ample time to do a lot of this stuff and anticipating what's happening. So now here we are tiling the floors in the shower, and then we're allowing time for it to be grouted here. And once that's done, we can have the toilet installed, and we're installing the vanity, and then we can have the appointment that we scheduled earlier for the custom shower door, because by now we've completed the tiling. Now we can install the lighting here, installing the shower fixtures. We're installing the countertop, installing the faucet. Backsplash can be installed, and then there's cleanup, because we're pretty much at the end. And once we clean up, we can install all of the fixtures. Those would be like your tissue holders, your towel rings, and your brobe hooks and stuff like that. You're installing your light fixtures, your mirrors, or your medicine cabinets, and you want to start scheduling for that final inspection, because you're pretty much done with the project. So then there will be a little bit of downtime after this here, because we're waiting for the custom shower door to be built. And then that can be installed. It usually is like a 7 to 10 business day kind of wait time. And then that's really the final piece. And we can celebrate because you're done. You can get your final inspection and schedule any fixes as needed. So during that final inspection, if there's any call outs for anything that needs to be fixed, adjusted, whatnot, that's when you'll do it. But otherwise, you're pretty much done. And let's take a look here. We started demo here. So 2 weeks of design and sourcing time, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of actual work. Technically it's 4 weeks, but we needed some time for the custom shower door to be installed. And if you're doing a final inspection, that needs to be included in the timeline as well. So as you can see, when you map it all out, it's very easy to know what's happening when. And then
when you're doing it electronically like this, it's easy to switch things around as needed. So if all of a sudden this is going to take an extra day or so, you can see where you can make the adjustments. I hope this helps you understand all the activities that are involved and what a typical timeline is. And there should not be a huge variance between what's on paper and what's happening in real life. If there is, there's a breakdown somewhere, and that needs to be fixed immediately.
So now you know how I create a construction calendar for each of my projects. I'm curious to know, has anyone ever shared a similar type of project calendar with you? Leave me a comment below. I'd really like to know. But do you see how valuable it is to know what's happening from start to finish? Now for the gift that I promised you, in the description box below, you will find a link to the exact calendar that we just walked through. This way, you can use it as a guide to create a construction calendar for your project. And of course, you'll want to check with your construction team to know exactly what's happening and when on your specific project. But use it also as a guideline to understand how long something should take. Now, if they're telling you something completely different, or if the timeline is significantly longer, you'll want to question why. Go ahead and download a copy of this sample calendar by clicking on the link in the description box below. And for more information about how to plan a home renovation without delays and drama, be sure to watch my home renovation planning video, which I will again link in the cards above and in the description box below. If you like this video, be sure to hit that like button, and of course share with your friends and family, subscribe, and hit the bell so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode.